Islam.
Islamism.
Islamism. Islam. I would like to welcome everyone to the Moorish Sense Channel. Islam. I'm your host of the Moorish Sense Channel. This is your brother Brendan Jordan-El, Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple number 13, located in Baltimore, Maryland. That's 1055 North Milton Avenue. And to my left this evening, my apologies, I have the honor and privilege of having an esteemed guest with me this evening, and he can introduce himself if he chooses to.
Praise Almighty God Allah. Yes, Sheik. I'm in the honor. This is my honor. First of all, to be invited on your show, because it's a rarity. It's a blessing to myself to have you young Moors, want to just simply listen to what us seniors have to say. With all the energy that you have and the full of spirit that you're full of, it's a blessing, Sheik. Brandon Jordan-El. And I want to thank you for inviting me. And I am Sheik Clarence Prather-El. Just a more in the Moorish Science Temple of America. Just thankful to Allah and honor to His Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, in the Moorish Science Temple, Mo.
Islam. Sheik Clarence Prather-El, would you mind leading us off with the Moorish American prayer?
Mo, it would be my honor, Mo. If we would but first just silence our minds and our hearts and our thoughts, and let these words resonate throughout our physical and throughout our soul. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
The Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My God.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through His holy prophet.
Through His holy prophet.
Drew Ali.
Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen.
You always do something for me, Mo. Always, man.
Same. Likewise. Likewise. So Sheik Prather-El, you and I, we've been discussing, various different topics pertaining to the political landscape of the country right now. Also, I know that you want to touch on the historical backgrounds of the current two incumbent political parties. And I also asked you a question. What is the significance and the importance of the October Convention as established by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam?
Praise Almighty God, Allah, Mo. Praise Almighty God, Allah. First of all, Mo, I want to everything that I say is going to be coming from the Holy Quran and the Divine Constitution and Bylaw. It's based rather on there. I'm drawing whatever it is that I say. I'm drawing from Act 6 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. I'm drawing from Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa, for an answering to your question. I'm going to elaborate on it in my words and in my thoughts and in my understanding of it. Not taking away from the actual meaning of the law and what it pertains to and how it pertains to, not taking nothing from it, but just elaborate. And if we have to go further, we'll explain, or I will explain, and I will explain, and I will explain, till we have the full understanding of what our prophet is teaching us. Now, I would like to go first of all, I would like to read Act 6 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaw. I'm not going to recite it, I'm going to read it, so therefore you understand it. And I'm going to go into one or two phases of it, understanding of it. I'm reading from Act 6 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. And for those of you that may not be familiar with it or understand it, I'm going to ask you to share with your brother or sister, neighbor, whoever's there with you. Ask them to simply read this, follow with me in reading this law, Act 6 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaw, because it will explain so very much with what's going on in the world, so very much of what's going on us as an organization, as a people. It will answer. Act 6 will literally answer so many of our questions to the point that we have peace for what it is that we do, even with the incumbent political parties that are out there now, with our brothers and sisters don't see us as other than being Negro, Black, or colored. This Act 6 of divine law is designed to answer your questions. And I'm going to read it. And I'm going to go off into one or two phrases of it. And the one that I want to point out in talking about the incumbents that's in political office right now, where it says part and partial of this said government. So just keep that in mind as I read, part and partial. And this is how it goes. It says Act 6, the divine constitution of our laws, Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know, and listen to the language, listen to the words, all you neurologists and phraseologists, please listen to the words that I'm saying and break them down, go in the depths of them, but get more out of it than the surface. That we may know that we are a part and a partial. Now we claim our nationality. We know our divine creed. Now the prophet Noble Drew is telling us in this law that we are a part and a partial. And why? Because now we know that we are not Negroes, Black, colored, and Ethiopian. Because these brothers and sisters have not been impelled to make that separation from those terminology, from those conditions. But you have come into the knowledge. We have taught you your nationality. We are teaching you your nationality, that you may know, I already know. And I'm quite sure, I know this Sheik here, this Sheik master here, know that you are not, Now that I have my nationality, now I know the divine creed, the creator, I know the name of my creator and all that he has done as like creating the world and us in the world and all this in the world. I now know that I'm not Negro, Black, colored, and Ethiopian. Because these names were given to slaves. These names were given to slaves.
Islam.
And anybody, I don't care how powerful he is, how much money he has, how well he speaks, anybody, any one person, any group of people say that you are Black, they are holding you as a slave. Because these are the names that the master gave us when he was trying to sell us. He didn't give us Malato,
That's right.
Octagon.
Octoroon.
Thank you, Sheik.
Quadroon.
Marine. He
That's
didn't,
right.
Mandingo. He didn't give us these names
That's right.
because he wanted to keep us in slavery. But our people are continuously claiming these conditions of that name. That you may know that you are not Negro, Black, colored, Ethiopian, because these names were given to slaves by slave holders in the year 1779 and lasted until 1865. Now, what took place in 1865? She could ask you to put up that first picture.
Yes, sir.
Not the other one.
Okay.
That to 18.
Oh, praise Allah. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now look at this.
All right,
You got to see this. These names lasted until 1865.
And there it is.
That's yes, she. These symbols of this donkey or jackass or mule as he is, that's facing off with this elephant, are the symbols of our political parties in this country. Before 1865, you had the Federalists, you had the Constitutionalists, you had the Know Nothing Party, you had very lot of political parties. But these became the dominant ones in our life, and they're here today. And that one in the blue, let me just read something.
Yes, sir.
That one in the blue represents the Democratic Party. That one in the blue. Now, there would not have been a civil war. There would not have been, well, it would have been a civil war, but the civil war would have ended. The fighting would have ended. But it's going on today, as we all can see. But who started this fight? And who come in the ring to do the fighting? And why were they fighting?
That's right.
That one in the blue was fighting to protect his interest of slaves, of having slaves. He is a pro-slaver.
Islam.
A pro-slaver. He has made a vow to keep us in slavery. What I don't mean the physical part, but the Constitution of the United States with the 2 sections say amongst our people, says 13th Amendment with 2 sections, 2, mind you, there are 18 additional or 20 additional.
That's right.
But the Constitution with 2 said, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist except for punishment of crime, whereby the party duly convicted shall exist within the United States. It was this party in the blue that made it so, the conditions in our community, in our neighborhood, so deplorable. They gave us jobs that were very menial. They took everything from us. They fired us off jobs. They wouldn't have us work jobs. So we had to end up doing something just to support ourselves. So the least little thing that we did, we were sent to jail. And we were given, not numbers, we were given letters for the period of time that we were going to do. This party right here has never been in our interests. All we have to do is look at the conditions of today. This fight would have never started. It had not been for this party raising up, saying that we're going to protect our slaves. We're going to keep our property.
So, Sheik Clarence Prather-El.
Yes, sir.
We have questions. So I did put in the chat that those who are viewing and listening, they can ask questions. Would you like for us to format the questions as they come in, or would you?
Mo, as they come in, please, Sheik. As they come in, formulate questions. They don't have to. Say it again.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mo. Yes, Mo. Bring your questions in as they come in, please.
Praise a lot. So we have one question, and that's from brother Jonte Gibbsdale. Brother Gibbsdale.
Okay.
Temple 78. He says, in your opinion, as Moorish Americans, who should we be voting for? Which party over the Republican which party other than the Republican Party should we register as? And then he said Islam.
Okay, can you ask that question one more time, please?
Yes, sir. He said, so in your opinion, he said Islam, in your opinion, as Moorish Americans, who should we be voting for? Which party other than the Republican Party should we register as?
Mo, I'm gonna answer that question like this, and please understand. I'm going to answer that question, what party, and if we don't know, I will tell you, what party was that opened the doors in the political arena for our prophet back in 1928? What party? Was it the Democratic Party or was it the Republican Party? I myself am a streamlined Republican.
Likewise.
When I go to vote, I vote. If they are Democrats, if they are running, I go in there and vote for my incumbent delegates in my precinct.
He said Republican.
I don't necessarily vote. Say it again, Mo.
He said Republican as well.
Yes, Mo. I am a Republican. Well, I'm a streamlined Republican. Republicans are anti-slavery. Anti. It was a Republican that lost his life to free us, to free all the people that have turned back to being slaves. He was shot in the head. Mo, do we have that picture?
Yes, sir, we do.
Can you bring it up?
Yes.
I would advise it's not an opinion. It is okay, the other one with Lincoln. The one with Lincoln.
I got you. It's coming up now. You can continue to talk. I'm pulling it.
15 presidents before this man, 15 Federalists, Constitutionalists, Know Nothing parties, 15 presidents before this man right here. 15.
So we got another question. And can I speak to this question as well?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. So Sheikah Sabrina Wright Bay. Oh, excuse me. Sheikah Sabrina Valance Bay. My apologies, Sheikah Valance Bay. I'm still getting my apologies. How about if I vote independent? I've been for 3 years now. Now, did you want to speak to it first, Sheik Prather-El?
No, you can go ahead, Mo. Go right ahead, then I'll address
All right.
that.
And then we also have a question from the brother Gibbs. All right. So the question. All right. So to Sheikah's Valance Bay's question. The issue specifically, we're looking at it from a state level, right? From a local level, we're going to look at it from a state level. There's nothing wrong with voting independent. However, the independent vote is narrowed down to two specific candidates because what you have here in the state of Maryland, independent voters cannot participate in what we call the primary election. So in the primary election, you have two main political parties. Oh, praise Allah. Okay, and that's reply to me. Okay, thank you, brother Gibbs there. And because of that, you're left with very little options. So in the Republican primary, you're able to vote for your Republican primary candidate between the two candidates or whatever, however number of candidates you have, and those candidates actually are filtered through to the general election. The same thing from the Democratic Party as well. They're able to vote for their primary candidates, and they're able to go through what we call the process and enter on what we call the general election ballot. However, independent voters are excluded from that. And specifically in the city of Baltimore, you do have a significant amount of independent voters. However, the independent voters are left with very little options. And because the city is a predominantly Democratic city, you really won't see as much, I guess you could say, fanfare or even a lot of uh, support for the Republican candidates on the local level, and then you also see them on the general election, the general ballot as well. But by that time, independent voters, you're left with very little options. And okay, praise a lot. All right, so Republican, and then Brother Gibbs said, so she said, so GS, do we vote for Trump? That's the question.
No, Mo, let me say this first, please. When you vote Democrat, Democrats have said in their platform, since 1965, since the Democratic National Convention was at 68 or 69, they say in their platform only five so-called Negro Black colored votes are going to count as one. This has been the problem. All we have to do is listen to their platform, what they're telling you. They're saying five of our votes only equal one because we are considered, the so-called blacks are considered 3/5 of a person. And being considered 3/5 of a person, to be a whole person, you got to have five to make your count. All you got to do is look at the works, read the works of Jesse Jackson and a couple others out there. Read their works. And definitely read the Democratic platform. Listen to the Democratic platform. That's what we miss out on. We hear the rhetoric and we complain about the rhetoric. They say the same thing each and every time, but it's the platform that you want to hear, that you want to lend your ear to. And in that platform, they have where they are going and how they're going to get us there. Now, I myself am not necessarily going to vote for Trump. I'm not necessarily going to vote for Trump because I know that the political party that Abraham Lincoln founded is not the party of today because there's a lot of chaos, confusion in there. But still in the same hand, I'm not going to throw my vote away. I'm going to vote I'm going to cast some votes that's going to give me an account for a vote. But today's political office mode, these are not offices that has anything to do with vote, even though that's what they say, has nothing to do with vote. It has everything to do with who's going to keep us enslaved, who's going to make us property, who's going to keep us property and money. Those seats, those political seats are brought and paid for, Mo. It's just like when you go into, I understand you go in some places, you get $1,000 seat.
That's right.
You go just like going into a show or theater. Mo, these places are already brought
That's right.
and paid for. These people are already determined who they're going to put in office. And as a result, I may not, because when he speak on his platform, I'm going to listen. My ear going to be quiet. I'm being somewhere quiet where I can hear all that they don't say. He say all the rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, I'm going to cast my vote thus. But on the same line, I am going to be voting Republican. I will cast my vote for a Republican. I will not throw my vote away by casting for a Democrat. By no means.
Slow.
No means. You're throwing your vote away. And as far as the party, one day, it was set in motion in 1969. Motions were set in 1969 for us to have a political party, but somebody took it in reign.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, Maryland, DC had within the makings a political party to cast our votes. But someone took that ball, dribbled it, and shot and missed, and we've been trying to recover the ball ever since. Because we're going to have our own party one day, because these parties, their interest is not conducive to ours.
Right.
If it was, we would not be in the condition that we in with Democrat mayors, governors, judges, chief of police, Washington, D.C., Maryland, alone, Virginia, all Asiatics. So nothing has changed, and nothing is going to change. And still in the same hand, we are part of this, but we are partial to our law. And this is where we have got to make a difference. Yes, I'm going to vote. And yes, somebody is going to pick that ball up, because we're getting good people, good, strong, moral people to pick that ball up and get back on the court and get us a party. Because just like the Know Nothing, the Federalists, the Whigs, and they all disappear, the Democrat and the Republican Party is going to disappear as well. Right. All because of what they are doing. They are deteriorating. They are fractioning the laws. They are fractioning the people. They are fractioning the government. And they are going to disappear. And you and I are going to be the reason for that disappearance. Because Lincoln said, a nation divided itself cannot stand. Democratic, fighting for the government, fighting for the people, fighting against the people, fighting with the people. This stuff has got to change. It's not conducive to a government. Me at you, I'm a Democrat and you a Republican. I'm a Christian, you a Muslim, you a Buddhist, somebody else is something. All that prejudice has got to stop, going to stop. Because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is going to be reigning in this land one day. But in the meantime, we got to teach our people that they are a part. That they are. Act 4 says part and partial, part of said government, part and partial says government, and part, and Act 6 says said government. Look at the language, boys. You got to read the language. This says said government, that we may know that we are part and partial of this said. What does that mean? We need to know what it means when it says said government. And that's what we got to look at. This said government. No, I'm not going to vote Republican. I mean, Democrat. I'll never vote Democrat. I'm a streamline Republican. Streamline. I'll never vote Democrat. Never. I've gone to their rallies. I've gone to their meetings. I take their calls, and I go up there and I talk to them. As what's that brother name just came? Senator, the light-skinned brother.
Antonio Hayes.
Antagonized him at his own meeting. Anthony Brown. Is it Anthony Brown?
Oh, you talking about Anthony Brown? Yes, sir. Yeah, he's Attorney General. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mo. I mean, Mo, this is what we got to do. You are how can you possibly? And I look at Obama, for example. Mo, I look at him. How can he stand in the name of Abraham Lincoln and be a Democrat? I mean, he got a nationality. So why isn't he free enough?
That's right.
Why isn't he free enough to be his brother's keeper? Instead of seeing us go on another generation to keep going through what it is that we're catching. We're voting for him. We had his back. People had his back. I was praying. I didn't vote. I was praying, but he didn't do all that he could have done. And what makes me so angry with that Democratic president, he went into the prison. He knows the 13th Amendment with 2 sections. He knows this. I heard him on TV. He once recited, but he goes into the prison system and made mockery of all those brothers and sisters trying to get out, trying to get their freedom. I mean, that hurt me so deeply, so deeply. I mean, when I looked at him, next time I saw him, seemed like the dark hue just came off. I could see all the dark hue just coming right off, and he was just getting light because he become transfigured right before us. So let me finish reading Acts 6. Sheik, at any time, any question, please pose them questions.
We just have comments in it. We just have a lot of our viewers are just commenting right now. My wife said Islam. Sheik McMillan said the so-called Black Caucus. Sheik Valensky said right. And then we got brother East 49 from New York. He said, yeah, we need a big Moorish political party. And he says he's with it. And then we also have Sheik Neil Bey. Sheik Jonte Gibbsdale said, Islam is Moorish Americans. What kind of dangers do we face if Kamala Harris is elected into office or Donald Trump? So either or. And is there really a lesser of two evils?
Well, we have to understand. Let me say this. The Prophet Noble Drew says in the record that some places a vow are not necessary. Somebody can walk in my home and I may not know them, but I don't have to make an oath to me. These people, Democrats in particular, these people have vowed to do nothing. She has a nationality as well. Right. She is not her brother's keeper. No matter how much they talk about Obama, at least he does have an Asiatic by his side. And she has a nationality. So if she get in office for what she will not.
That's right.
And if she does, where it says in the record, Revelation, I think it's 13 or 17, Moshe, we're letting that beast, he gonna come out that hole. He gonna come out and he gonna do, you think he's doing damage now?
That's right.
We think we got it bad. Now all we got to look is everything pointing towards us being driven downward so we can find some hope in something or somebody that has no hope themselves. All she is going to do is get in office and make history. That's what she said thus far. Every time I hear her, this is all she said. In so many words, she said, all we're going to do is make history. We're going to be the first woman. I'm going to be the first Asiatic woman to be president. That's all she's looking forward to. Yeah. And that's all she's going to be like, well, put that picture of the puppet.
Praise Allah. Got you. Yes, sir.
This is all our people are going to do for us.
Pulling it out right now.
Because they are handled by strings. And the puppet master is money. And the puppet master is that beast that's spoken of in the book of Revelation. Look at our people, man. That's an Asiatic right there.
Mizzou, man.
That's an Asiatic. I'm not saying this. This is not Sheik Clarence Prather-El saying. This is the magazine of Emerge that they took off the market because of all the political things that they were saying against the governments that were functioning at that time. This is Emerge, and that is a puppet. Our people, is that John Conley or?
It says Emerge, puppet, money strings behind prop of 209's Ward Conley.
Yeah, Ward Conley. Come on, Mo. They're not going to do anything else. We need people in office that are free. We need people in the office like President Abraham Lincoln.
Right.
But only this time, we're going to have something that Lincoln did not have. We're going to have Allah is my protector.
That's right.
Not to say that Lincoln didn't, because he was divinely prepared, he was divinely guided, and he gave up his life to Jesus 2,000 years ago and so many before him, but they still took it.
That's right.
Because there were so many against him, and there were us that wouldn't believe him. And therefore he had to lose his life because of puppets, because our people not standing up to support what is ours. And can you put up that picture of the two flags and the four people standing in front of the two flags?
Yes, sir. And we have two questions. We have two questions in the chat. So I'm going to pull up real quick. So Sheik McMillan said, can you explain block voting? That's the one.
Can you explain?
Block voting. It's like during the time of the prophet, they had block voting.
Block, B-L-O-C-K?
Yes, sir. Block voting.
Well, the Sheik will have to explain that one to me.
And we also have Sheik Sabrina Valaz Bay. She said, is there a way that Moorish Americans can protect themselves or prepare themselves against the issues that we know will arise after the election?
Moors, then listen to this. It says in the Holy Quran, I think it's in the time fulfilling of the prophecy. Listen, I'm going to read it to you. It says, first of all, this is an answer to Sabrina's Valaz Bay's question of how we can protect ourselves. But this is what we have got to go through, and I'm going to go through it. It says, in the time, in the fulfilling of the prophecy, it talks about the prophet being the last one in these days and time to warn us of the great wrath, which is sure to come, which is sure to come. Then I'm going down to verse 3, that after all of this Passover, after all that we're going through, our children being suffocated with drugs and sex and demonized things, and after all of this, it says, the Moorish Sense Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. After all of this blows over, the Moorish Sense Temple of America is still going to be here. And all those that are on that ark are going to be a part of being salvaged, have salvation. So the only thing that we possibly can do is stay behind, beside the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, whom is being guided by the great God Allah. That's all we can do. Run to the nearest organization of the Moorish Sense Temple of America, because there is the presence, the very essence, the very presence of the Creator. That's where a place for him was. That's where he said he was going to come. He said he's going to build a temple. Solomon built a temple. And in that temple, his presence was made known. His presence was made known in the tabernacle. In the temple is where we will meet our Creator, Allah, our protector, from all the things that are going on in the world. Read the book of Revelation.
That's right.
It tells you, out of all the multitude of people, and this is what really hurts me, but it should be a waking up call. Out of all the millions of people that are in the world, the record makes a reference to only 144,000.
That's right.
And that 144,000 got a hard job, because they got to go and bring into the organization of Moorish Sense Temple of America that 30, 40, 50 million Asiatics that didn't want to hear what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has to say. Nature has a way of forcing the truth upon those that don't want to hear it. And nature is going to do its job. So what we have to do, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to advise and counsel anywhere else to do, is to pray 24/7. Kind word, little shelter, little charity.
A kind word, a little charity. Smile.
Yes.
That's right.
Pray 24 hours. Make every step you step, pray. Make every breath you breathe a prayer, a higher thought. Because the demon, he's let loose and he's coming through, and he's not taking anybody for granted. He's not taking anybody That's not a part of him. It says that the book of Revelation says that you won't even be able to buy or sell. Can you imagine? You wonder why you can't get a job. You wonder why you can't buy or why you can't sell, because you got that mark of the beast. And he's gonna let you think you got something. He's letting our people think that they have something. He said that you said that you're wealthy, you're rich, you don't need nothing, but he says that you're blind, wretched, pitiful, naked, and poor. And our people got to know that. They got to know that. And in this picture that Sheik has put up, we see two flags, but I'm going to make one reference to that one with the stripes. That stripes is saying that to keep you, Negro, black, and colored, to keep you as property, keep you as slave, we have built an army. We have got a capital. We have got people to fight. We have got a president. We have even said North and the South. We've already separated to keep you in slavery. That's the Democratic Party. And Mo, pull up those white roads marching in D.C.
Now, Sheik Prather-El, just to be clear, you said the one with the stripes. You're talking about the one right here on the right, right? I mean, the one on the right.
Yeah, with the gray suit.
With the Confederate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, crazy.
Yes, Confederate. That's
All
right. Confederate Army.
All right, pull it up.
And this is how they kept us in check, right? Coming up, how they kept us in check. And when that didn't work, when we started fighting back, then it started taking our job. Oh, there it is right there. There it is right there. Our fathers. This is how they kept us in check. And that right there is straight down Pennsylvania Avenue where the Capitol is. They are just leaving some years, maybe a couple years from the premiere of the Birth of a Nation in the Capitol.
The White House.
I think
it's the White House.
Woodrow
Wilson.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right, Mo. That's where they're marching. 40,000 strong. 14,000 strong to keep us Negro, black, and colored, to keep us their property, to keep us in our place, and give us some granted privileges, only to take them away.
That's right.
Only the few are getting anything out of this government. The masses of us are catching the Hades. But for us to stay strong, we can't take for granted the Moorish Science Temple of America. I mean, just listen to it. Just listen to it ring off your tongue. Moorish Science Temple. And it's of America. So no matter where an Asiatic is in this country, in America, there will be, because Allah himself said that this is an everlasting movement, there will be a movement one day that will reach wherever you are. To teach you that you're Negro, that not Negro, black, and colored. Because if there's one Negro, black, and colored, we might look up and there'll be two. We look up and there'll be three. Then we got the problem all over again. And it's just not worth it. There's the sword right there. Look at that sword. It don't look like a cross. It looks like a sword.
That's right.
And put the other one up, Sheik.
Same demonstration?
Yes, sir, please.
Yes, sir. All right, here we go. It's coming up right now.
Well, let's look at that. And that building right that you see on your, or I guess it's your left too.
That's right.
That building is right there, right today. And they have the Negro Women's League. That's their office right today. Can't think of the women that are still there, but that's their office. And Mo, where do you think all this? So, where do you think the 40,000 Ku Klux Klans are marching to? Well, let me tell you, since you mean, so you don't have to guess. Let me just tell you where they're marching. They're marching to wherever there is a Black Wall Street, wherever there's a community that have Asians thinking they're gonna make it without proclaiming. That's where they're on their way, right there. They're not gonna let us have nothing. And since 1919, somewhere around in the era, once they tore down all, not some. Go on Facebook and see all the community of Asia is doing so wonderful and so good. See them march, see them having march through those communities and tore them down.
Called the Red Summer. summer 1919.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow. That's where they're marching. And they're marching on everybody, all of them. These Asiatic groups, they're patient. They're patient.
That's right.
And they're going to get there. What they're trying to say is that Negro, Black, and Colored is not a national being. You have been property. You always will be property. You will be looked as property. I don't say it. Your history says. Every time I look up, and these Asiatics talking about, and we still got somewhere to go. We still got some distance to go. We still got a way to go. I mean, come on, man. How many more of our children do we have to sacrifice that they killed anyway?
That's right.
How many more of our children do they have to lynch? How many more of our children do they have to find in ditches? And I'm talking about during the Ku Klux Klan era. I'm talking about MK's era. How many more children do we have to sacrifice just to get some crumbs off the table? How many more?
Islam.
That's where they're marching, family.
That's right.
They got an army, they got a president, they got guns, they got the Second Amendment, they got the First Amendment, they got all the amendments that they need, they got all the law that they need, and they got people to represent. I mean, look at the movement that these people, our people had. Man, they had a powerful movement. They even had a Supreme Court.
That's right.
Even had Thurgood Marshall. Still got Clarence. Don't we have Clarence is still in the office?
He's yes, sir. He is.
I mean, Morris, look at that. They had a movement that didn't move anywhere.
Nowhere at all.
When they could have, because they had the law. They knew the law. They had access to the law where they made law. Supreme Court, the Senate, House of Representatives. These people, our people were there. And we were still in the same condition. Poverty, suffering, misery, death, having no rights, none whatsoever, that we don't even respect. Pull up another one, Sheik.
Praise the Lord. Which one you want now, Sheik?
Just put up one, Sheik. Just put up one.
Okay.
Just put up.
I got one.
Yeah, just put.
Here we go.
And most be patient with me. I want to thank you, Sheik, joining in. I want to thank you so very much, man, for being patient with me, man.
Sir.
I mean, look at that. Wow, look at that. You know who I see every time I see this picture right here, and Seabreeze Bay gave me this picture. You know, every time I look at this picture, what I see?
What you see?
Marcus Moses Aurelius Garvey.
See that? Yeah, I can see that. The forerunner. In his
the prophet.
That's right. Uniform, just like the UNIA.
Putting us in a state of mind to fight for what we have to do, but fight legal, fight the right way.
That's right.
And have like what does the prophet say? Like a wall of brass behind his back. Mm-hmm. They got their army, and we got ours. And they're here today. And I know when I make that call, he said it's just a matter of make that call a matter of offense. They'll be there.
Islam.
In a matter of time, they'll be there. We just have to know what we have, what it is that we have, and stop playing favorites with it. Stop segregating. Stop discriminating. Right. Stop being prejudiced. Stop being disunified with our own. Sheik, I need to say this, please, if you don't mind.
No, sorry.
I'm not challenging. I'm not in competition with no one about Moorish Science Temple of America. I only challenge, I only at difference with, I only compete against something I feel in my soul is out of order. You function in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, man, you got the best friend in the world. You can't have a better friend than me. I'll come out there, I'll tell my wife 1,000 times a week, I got something to do, and she'll frown, and then she tell me she want to do something, and I tell her I got something to do, be out there with you, and she frowns some more. That's how much I'm your friend.
Islam.
because I know she's gonna be my wife. She's patient with me. She's gonna be here when I get back from me out there doing off the field, off the battlefield, doing my job. She's gonna be here. But I'm just that much of a friend to you that I will come to your aid. And this is how we have got to be. We have got to be friends to one another. Pull up another one, Sheik, please.
Yes, sir.
Any one of them.
Anyone?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And family, friends, I'm talking about symbol. All of this is symbolism. Moorish science reveals symbolism. And when you pull up that donkey, oh my goodness, Mo. 7 years ago, the Moors, the Moorish Americans' forefathers, brought forth on this continent the nations of India, of England, Scotland, and Ireland, a new nation. 7 years ago, the Moorish brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition of the Mayflower Compact, that all men are created equal. But somehow the nation got split. Somehow we in a battle. Somehow somebody's saying, no, you're not equal. And somebody's saying, yes, yes, we are. And then there's the fight. That right there represents the Gettysburg Address, where President Abraham Lincoln said, I think it was 1863, 45, one of them years. He said, 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. The Mayflower Compact made that a proposition that all men are created. And they thought the world thought that they were coming over here thinking that all men were created equal. Then they get up here and one generation passed and another generation passed in 1619. Then you look up in the 1700s, they're making us slaves.
That's right.
Now we got a great civil war, testing this nation or any nation that can long endure in separation. No nation can long endure separation of power, because they're going to be a fight, just like the picture that she put up there with the Democrats fighting the Republican fighting the Democrat. They fight all the time. When there's a fight, if you don't break the fight up, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And I'm just praying it's not the party, it's the party that Allah has ordained to win, to give me the salvation that I need. But that's what this picture right here is saying. And I think it's Jefferson or Davis, one of them, for this Confederate. And more, look, they got their president, they got their guns, they got their flag, they got everything to keep us in.
They're generals.
Yes,
that's right.
They got everything to keep us in bondage, man. And we don't see it. And we still talking about we Democrat. We still talking about voting on the Democratic ticket. I would never vote for a Democrat. I would never counsel. I would never advise.
That's right.
Anybody. I'll shut up first before I advise you to vote Democrat.
You want another picture?
Yes, sir. Please, you.
Yes. All right, here we go.
Any more questions or comments? More?
Questions and comments. So I put it in the chat twice. Feel free to ask your questions. Sheik Clarence Prather-El often tells us or informs us to ask your questions. This is open forum. Ask your questions. Anything pertaining to what Sheik Clarence Prather-El is sharing right now with the general public. And yes, that's right. Sheik McMillan said that was Lee and Grant. That's right. It was Lee and Grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my father taught us to ask questions. My father, Timothy Dingalil, taught us to ask him questions. He said his exact word, that he is not the devil, that if you ask him something, he's going to chew your head off. So almost something to that effect. So you can ask me questions, because I'm not the devil. I'm not deceitful. I'm not trying to deceive anybody. Ask me questions. And if I can answer, I am going to. And if I can't, I'm going to tell you I can. And look at that right there. I mean, what does that say? They took these items off the shelf. You can't find them no more in stores. But this one right, this picture here go back to 1900, 1990s, 80 something. Before they took them off the shelf. Black flag. That's our flag. A black on a roach cane means death. When you say that you are black, family, you're saying that this is what you this is what you're part of. Death, dying. A black flag. That's not a national flag. There's no country in the world, no country in the entire world, not only in Africa, in Asia. I don't even think there's no subgroups or subnations or subnationalities,
That's right.
even subcultures, other than ours, call itself black. And everybody, every nationality has a derogatory name for their own people, like the Italians have theirs, the Chinese have theirs, the Irish have theirs. I'm not going to call them out.
India, that's right.
Everybody has, but I don't know no nationality. I haven't heard any yet. Maybe you do. I haven't heard any nationality that said that they're black. And when they come over here, man, they hurry up and put on their credentials when they come through the immigration, especially in New York. I don't know about in Florida or Florida area, but I do know in New York, you can come through the immigration, you put your nationality on there. Once they get through those gates, they come out here and mingle with the Asiatics and then start identifying as black. But then you ask them in the hole, you can see them go to their places of worship, you go to their government, they ain't talking that black stuff.
That's right.
They get out there and talking with you because they want to fit in, but they ain't talking that they black. And their skin is dark, it's just as dark as yours. Darker than this frame around this black can right here, dark.
Right, going to the next one.
Yes, sir. Boys, look at this. For all of those who want to know about the Republican Party, when our people first came out of slavery, and these men here didn't know how to read and write as we know reading and writing today. But these men are Republicans. They are not Democrats. Martin Luther King and his family, the senior, junior, none of them were Democrats. They were Republicans. Martin Luther King didn't become a Democrat until he ran up in Kennedy. Kennedy gave him a call, and he came up here in Washington, D.C., and all of a sudden, he went in there Republican, but he came out a Democrat. Are y'all with me, family?
That's right.
They were Republican because it was the Republican Party that freed them. It was the Republican Party that gave them the Freedmen's Bureau. It was the Republican Party that told them that they can go to the African Methodist organization. Republican. Gave them land, offered them land. And it was the Democrats that came right on their tail, scaring them, beating them, killing them, into keeping their mouths closed. But had they opened their mouths, had they became free and knew that they were free, when they picked up them rifles, instead of shooting it for something to eat, shoot anybody that came that defended themselves, they would have made a difference. That difference would have been made today. If there would have been a Nat Turner, if there would have been a few others.
That's right.
Defending themselves as well as their family, friends, and neighbors. Because each time Nat Turner, for example, killed one European, they killed hundreds of us.
Yes, that's right.
All you got to do is just look at what they did. Wall Street and that movie. There's a movie called Rosewood. Yeah, all you got to do is look on the Facebook and you see countless other towns that these people have tore up.
That's right.
All because we claim to be black. And these men right here, again, just come out of slavery and go into office. And they went into office as Republicans, not Democrats.
Islam. All right, going to the next picture. This is one that you shared with me.
Oh, wow. Wow. Morris, this is the election during the Obama's era. These were, Morris, I went, you know how they put signs on the road?
Yes.
This is one of the, I got a couple more of them upstairs. I parked my truck in the middle of the road on the grass, and I took them. It says, "We are not slaves to the Democrat." And this was during Obama's first, or was it the second? One of his elections. We are not slaves to the Democrat. They are telling me, I'm not saying this. I didn't make this sign up, Sheik or Jonah Hill. I took the sign off the side of the road where it was so people can see to vote. And I think I had one or two others signs that I took. I have counters here in my home. Every year when I see them out there, and if they make sense, and I'm going to pull it aside and tell people, we are not slaves to the Democrats. And this is what these people have us down. It says these names were given to slaves by slaveholders. So if you call yourself Negro, Black, and Color, you call yourself a Democrat, you are saying literally, regardless how much money you got, how much wealth you got, don't make no difference. You are saying that you are a slave and a slave to wealth.
So you have a question and a statement, Sheik Prather-El. So I'm going to go with the statement first. So Sheik McMillan was saying he was making a reference to block voting. He said he was asking about the block voting of the Moors that were formed to vote for Oscar Stanton, the priest, and Louis B. Anderson. So we're going to get into that in a minute. So that's a great question, a great statement, Sheik McMillan. And the question is coming from Resurrection Tamika Jordan-El. And she said, did Lincoln have a sincere interest to emancipate our ancestors, or was it solely to save the Union?
Both. If he had not saved the Union, we would have North and South today. The Union means all of America, all of the 13 United States, everything in America. The Louisiana Compromise, the Nebraska, all to save the Union, put security around us. When he saved that Union, he saved it according to the U.S. Constitution, for which is all for all America. We have been tricked at the mind in our school to teach that Lincoln tricked our people by saying he's for when he say something to the effect that, help me from wrong.
If I could keep slavery going, if I could keep slavery, I would. I'm paraphrasing, but if I could save the Union and keep slavery, I would. If I get rid of slavery, I would. In paraphrasing.
Man, here in D.C. a couple years ago, I almost got knocked in the head, man.
Wow.
Because I was defending it. But I'm saying, brother, you only got one. Read the whole thing. Read the history of the man.
That's right.
He died that you may live. He had, yes, sister, his whole divine job. If we read the platform of 1851, well, no, better still, read the platform of Frederick Douglass. No, was it Frederick Douglass? What's the Douglass guy name?
Stephen Douglas.
Stephen Douglas and Lincoln.
Lincoln Douglas.
And right after that, right on his tail, you read the Dred Scott decision.
That's right.
And you see that Lincoln had our people at heart. In other words, in order to save the Union, he had to save the people. To save the people, he had to save the Union. Otherwise, we would have a North and South America. I mean, right here in America. And one of them, in the South in particular, will be having slaves, and the North wouldn't have them. And I can see us now going down and having to produce a pass. I can see us driving in the South right now, having to produce a pass. I'm from the North and I'm free and all this stuff. And I can see those people in the South trying to steal up here to the North.
That's right.
So it was for both Sheikas.
Praise Allah. And yes, Sheik McMillan, Stephen Douglas. All right, here's the next picture, Sheik Prather-El.
Oh my goodness, come on, man. Look, this is another one. This is another one on the side of the road in the ground. I mean, look at that, Morris. That's Mayor. Oh man, I can't think of his name right now. But that's Washington, D.C. They closed the schools, they closed the libraries, got poverty. They didn't do anything for the people, got more homeless, but they put $440 million plus dollars in a stadium.
Is that man Fenty from D.C.?
No, that's not Fenty, Mo. That's honey. Okay, it's right on my tip of my tongue, Mo. But yeah, but more than $440 million closed out schools. That's the sacrifice. The sacrifice our people made to have a stadium. And the worst part about it is 90% of the people that were employed to build that stadium were from Maryland, Virginia, other states, Chicago, Wisconsin, all those contractors and architects, all those people.
No, I would say outsourcing. That's what it is. It's outsourcing.
Yes, all of them. And you go down there today. You go down there right now. On the inside, You got a nationality with all the big vendors. You come on the outside, you don't have no nationality with no vendors. I mean, you got small vendors.
Right.
And you got no, oh yeah, see what I'm saying, Mo?
Yes, sir.
I mean, all of that. So it's not even giving us jobs.
It's predatory, that's right.
You got a few down there. You got a few, but not many. And you got police galore. You got all kinds of beautiful fucking architecture, and go right across the street in Southwest Washington, D.C., past M Street, and you're right back in poverty, right in the midst of poverty. No police. And our people are in devilish condition because they closed down. Now here in Maryland, they gave us a stadium. In Prince George's County, they gave us a big old stadium, but they gave us a gym, a parking plan,
Right.
where you can go in there, work out and exercise for the seniors.
Right.
The seniors don't have to pay, but the children would have to pay. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's not right.
It's not right at all. But this is what Democrats are doing. This guy here, I can't think of his name, man. He's a Democrat.
Okay.
And Washington, D.C. is still impoverished right now. And it's hurtful. But they got the stadium. They got the stadium.
Praise the Lord. All right, here we go to the next image. And we're going back to a point that you raised earlier. It's coming up right now.
Oh, wow. Morris, all of those people, all of our people thought that this man could walk water. All of them had great hope in this people. But right now, you go into Chicago, on the very street he lives on, you cannot come on. You cannot walk down the very street that he lives on. And that's all I'm going to say about that one, right?
Islam.
I mean, I guess, and privately, I can tell you one or two other things.
Right.
But Obama, he had a nationality, vote Democrat. Wow. That tells me that he's not his brother keeper. And every time you saw him, his portraits under Lincoln's picture, his comments, his presidential staff meeting, all this under the picture of Lincoln. He even spoke on how Lincoln, because Lincoln was from Chicago, his hometown. I said, wow. I said, why don't you do what Lincoln did?
All right, here we go. Next one's coming up.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Harry Belafonte got a nationality. Jesse Jackson ran for president, couldn't go nowhere, didn't go nowhere. Those two on the end, Maxine Waters and
that's right. And what's the guy? Can't think his name. He's from Georgia. His name right here. Matter of fact, his name is right here. What's his name? He's on here. John Lewis.
I first met Maxine Waters when she was up running for Senate in California. She had us at Washington, D.C. up in arms. I was attending every meeting that radio hosts were announcing, every political meeting that I could possibly go to, that she was sponsoring, that she had a voice in. I was going almost 2 or 3 times a week to meetings that she was sponsoring. And those meetings were all about the CIA bringing drugs into California to our people. Then I look up, President William Clinton, wrote a $30 billion, $200 million public safety and correctional bill for build prisons. Then I look up again, and she in the Senate. And in the Senate ain't said nothing about this persecuting CIA that she was filling out here as well with. Next time I heard from her was during the Katrina, the flood down in Louisiana.
Hurricane Katrina.
Hurricane Katrina. She was in the Senate and they were trying to get a bill passed. That's the only time I heard from her anymore publicly that I heard. I mean, I'm saying, what happened to, it came to my mind, what happened to you going to have the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, give an account for bringing drugs into California in our neighborhood.
That's right.
It's in that Emerge, I get this from the Emerge magazine that you had up earlier.
Right now.
How much time we got, Sheik?
We have as much time as we need, but it's 7:37 right now.
Wow. More there it is right there. Emerge, I'm not saying this family, friends, and loved ones. I'm not saying, and if you need a copy of it, I have the book. I have the cover. But the book, it's Emerge, CIA, and our people in the drug tube.
Crack, that's right, crack tube.
Crack vial, whatever it is. And she was going to make them, they're going to give an account for bringing that drugs in that neighborhood, and they're still bringing it in as we speak. CIA.
That's right.
Merge magazine, family. Took it off the market.
And it's discontinued right now. It's not on the market anymore, right?
No more. No, they're not on the market.
All right, going to the next one.
There it is right there, more. Emerge. Look at our people. And change, man. Our people.
That says the case for reparations. So isn't that an issue that is happening right now too as well? Okay.
Yeah, Mo. It's always gonna be a issue.
That's right.
They're trying to do what citizens did, like what the Japanese citizens did. They're trying to get paid like the Japanese citizens. Japanese, not black, colored, or chinks. Japanese.
That's right.
For what they did to the Japanese, these Asians ain't gonna get no reparation, man. And if you do, it's gonna come to the Moorish Sense Channel of America. And that's also what we got to come into the knowledge of. How are we gonna get the money to do what we have to do? And it's gonna be gotten. You're gonna get a good, clean, more are gonna get the money. And it's not reparation. What is it, Mo?
Compensated emancipation.
Compensation.
That's right.
The law, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, say we are to be compensated when we come out of bondage, when we come out of slavery, especially when we come into the Moorish Sense Temple of America. The Freedman's Bureau, the Freeman's Bureau, the embassy.
That's right.
Sanctuary, safe house. Yeah. And the other one I think is today is more crime pay. Yeah, crime pays. We just talked about that. This magazine right here says that Bill Clinton gave $30.2 billion for public safety and correctional service. And what is he doing? He's giving our people all kinds of time, all kinds of sentences for same thing the Europeans are getting slapped on the hand for. Citizens are getting slapped on the hand for. I mean, if you go to some of these prisons, when I did my prison ministry, some of these places, man, the air is so foul. They got us packed on one another. But you let people like some of these rich people go into jail. Most of the places that they go is like a
vacation
campus.
That's right, like a vacation stay.
They get conjugal visits. They get they get freedom to come out, but to let the black man, the so-called Negro, and we boast of it. I did this, I did that. Mo, that stuff right there, it pays. They got prisons underground right now. And they get more money to build more prisons underground because they're going to control us one way or the other. And the King Alfred list says that they're going to control us one way or the other. And I'm not about being controlled. I'm going to call on my Creator. I'm going to stay with my Creator, first of all, so I won't have to worry about calling on Him. I'm going to stay with Him.
So, now another portion that I wanted us to I asked a question in regards to the significance and the importance of the October Convention established by the Prophet Noble Ali. Did you want to get into that now, Sheik Prather-El?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sheik, I'm ready when you are.
Praise the Lord. Here
I'm
we
ready
go.
when you are.
Right.
And as usual, more everything is come. Everything that I say pretty much is based. I'm drawing from based on the Holy Quran of the Moorish Sense Temple of America. I'm not going to go to the Circle 7 aspect of it because some of us may not understand that and they may question it. But I'm going to the elementary stage of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Sense Temple of America. And we're going to talk. I'm going to Egypt, the capital empire. Oh, there it is right there, Mo. I mean, how do you miss people? Everybody got this in their temple. How do they miss it? More, this right here is how this was the media back during those days. Posters, people posted up shows, stores open. This was the media. Posters like this was the media. Whether you're dancing, whatever you did, you put it on. We demonstrated a poster, and it just so happened that this is a poster that should be in everyone's home as well as their temple as a reminder. Because I want to do the math sheet. Can we do some math?
Sure.
Help me out doing some math.
Okay.
I'm pulling out my paper. I got my pencil. And I'm going to ask you that are listening to help me out in doing some math. Now, this math is, I'm going to go from October to 1928 to September 1929. Now let's look at this. Now, Drew Ali was in the. Well, before I go further, let me let you know where I'm coming from. I'm coming from Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa, and I'm going to start at verse 12. Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. And verse 12 reads, "These holy and divine laws are from the prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America. These laws," verse 13, "these laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of all the temples. These laws, this annual law, October, is to be preserved by all the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that they will learn to open their meeting, and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice." Now, verse 14 is where I want to go. Are there any subordinate temples on this poster right here, convention poster?
I don't see any.
Okay, I'm thinking all of those, temple number 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking all of those. It might even have the word subordinate, or does it just say temple?
It says temple.
Okay. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple. Would you agree that the Grand Major Temple is 3140 Indiana Avenue?
Yes, sir.
Back then? Okay. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and create their own laws and customs in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. Now, help me out with a little arithmetic, mathematics, however you want to call it, Sheik.
Yes, sir.
The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you're going to put up some newspaper articles or headings.
Yes.
And one of them is, put up any one of them.
Any one of them? Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. Minimize this. We'll go to the newspaper articles. Pull this one out first. It's the first one I have on.
Okay.
My doc. It's coming up right now.
Okay. Big excursion to the south. Now listen to this now, more. Had this man saying he got all of his people, all the membership. He got a lot of the membership going to the south to influence the south. That what he's saying is the truth. A big excursion to south to let the world know there's other particulars in there, to let the Southerners know, to let our Southern people know that are steeped down in occults,
That's right.
cults, religion, practices, steeped in it, deep in it. So he had to make a strong presence in the South to tell these people that they're not who they have been bred and programmed and indoctrinated to say that this is who they are. All right, let's go to another one. She put up that one that said convention.
So, okay, give me 1 second. Pulling it up right now.
And family, while Sheik's pulling it up, I'm trying to go from October 28th to September 29th. First, I want to know how long. Okay, we know he passed form in July 20, 1929. Now, this man is going to the South, telling the people, saying that a great meeting is on. This is what you find on your questionnaire, top of the questionnaire. The great meeting is on. This is what he is telling the people when he goes to these states. The great meeting is on. And where is it on? It's on in Chicago, Illinois, October 1928, 3140 Indiana Avenue. Now, after the convention of October 1928, the prophet writes in his paper, Moorish Guide, convention, a big success. Is that what that reads, Sheik?
Yes, sir.
Convention, a big, not small, a big success. Now, if the convention is a big success, somebody please explain to me how from 1928, he traveling, and in July 1929, he passed form, but July, August, September, we having that convention in September 1929. How? The prophet Noble Drawley notified most, and you read the laws of 1928 and various other laws, you read, he always was in contact with his people, his official, to let them know what he was doing. Why didn't he let us know officially that the convention was going to be in September? Why? I mean, he put up a poster, he traveled, he even says that the convention was a big success, but a mere 3 months, 2.5 months, everything's turned around. We're having a convention, supposedly his convention, in September as opposed to October of 1929. That's something for us to think about while we are in the conditions that we're in. Now, listen to this, Sheik. It says in the time fulfilling the prophecy, the prophet talks about the great wrath which is sure to come. In October of 1929, Allah answered what they were doing in the Great Depression. He said, I did not authorize no September for you to meet under my name in my presence. My blessing was the same blessing that I gave to Moses when he carried the Israelites out of Egypt. The same degree. So in October 1929, we didn't have the convention, and we had the Great Depression to be confronted, to tell us, to hopefully smack us, to warn us that what we were doing was wrong. But no, the masters of us said we ain't gonna give that no heed. We're not gonna pay that no mind. We'll come out of it, because this is what Moses did. This is what Pharaoh did. He said, Jehovah sent 10 plagues down into that man. 10.
That's right.
10 before he softened his heart and said, man, okay, Jehovah, you win. Moses, man, y'all, you and your God, y'all win. But we get one massive one that lasted for 4 years. Then into 33, I think, 33 or 34. We get a massive one. And then we still get Chicago and all the temple, all the people, all the cities that were rebelled against the prophet. Drew Ali said the record reflects it would be better in Sodom and Gomorrah than it is for the days of those brothers and sisters, man. Mm. And we look out over all the states, Chicago, New York, all the states that abused the prophet, and look at the condition. Look at the condition that our people are in. Our people, their children, our people are in because of what their fathers did. We won't see that. Somehow or another, we don't see that. But they put, 1929 put their blood on us. Their disobedience of the law, their disobeying the law here on our heads. We are disobeying the law and we're catching the consequences thereof. Convention a big success, you know, and I have no problem. I really don't have no problem with the convention because as it stands now, every state, everybody is having their own. But somebody is spearheading back to Chicago. The headquarters, the home office, the capital of the Moorish Sense Temple of America. Some Muslims, those that submit their will to the will of Allah, are spearheading back to Chicago because that's where the foundation was laid. Ain't nobody else changed no dates. This country ain't never changed none of its dates. You got people that are doing things in October. They ain't changed their dates. This is our birth. The prophet tells us our birthright, our birth, our nation begins in October. That's our birthday. I ain't know why we want to change our birthday. And make the people suffer.
Islam.
Go to the next one. Go to the next one, Sheik.
Islam. Which one you want next, Sheik Prather-El?
Anyone you pull up, Mo.
Okay. Here we go.
Because what I would like to do, Sheik, can people at a later time put comments and questions on this?
Yes, sir. So for our viewing and listening audience, you can comment on the Moorish Sense Channel page on YouTube, on Facebook. You can also comment on YouTube. You can also comment on the Moorish Sense media page on YouTube, on Facebook as well. So we have 2 pages on Facebook. We have 1 page on YouTube where you can comment on this particular segment. And this is not the only segment that we'll be doing with Sheik Prather-El. This is just part 1. Sheik Prather-El said convention changed from 12 months, then it was changed to occur in 11 months instead of the 12 months later. Islam.
How many months?
She said convention changed from 12 months, then was changed to occur in 11 months later instead of 12 months later. So it's supposed to happen 12 months later, it was 11 months. Got switched around.
And the prophet passed in July 1920. He passed in the 7th month.
That's right.
Mo, come here. You can't tell me that's not schism.
That's right.
And then in 1929, after 1929 convention, September 1929 convention, they talked about, the record reflect that they talked about getting back on the foundation of the prophet.
That's right.
The record reflect, the 1929 convention, September convention reflect the prophet, that the membership is saying, we got to get back on the foundation of the prophet. I'm not saying, read your 1929 annual convention minutes in September. And they're talking about how they should get back on the foundation because they know they're all, but they don't have the strength to overcome. But the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the Moorish Sense Temple of America, is strong enough and able enough to free people, Mo. You don't have to worry about breaking that vow, that oath, that seal, and being enslaved. The Moorish Sense Temple of America is in the power, in the position to make you a free man, to see you walk away and kick those shackles off of you, because so you can tell the truth
Slow.
and not keep living a lie. I mean, it says right here, prophet begins second tour, going out. Now he's going to do the second tour to bring the people to October to the convention. So this man is out hustling up the people. And while he's out hustling up the people, gathering the people rather, I mean, he got schism going back at his office. I mean, come on, Mo. I mean, these are the things that we need to know. These are the things that the prophet meant for us to do. And until we do what's right, we're always going to have these problems, you know. But you can rest assured it is better to have never heard this stuff than to hear it and go contrary to it. I, Sheik Clarence Prather-El, know a lot of things. I think I do anyway. But I don't know enough that's going to save me from looking back and catching all the hell that was meant for me, that I ducked, that I dodged, because I know a word or two. I know a lesson or two. But I also know that it's right behind me. I don't even look back, Mo. I don't look back. If you ever see my pictures, man, you always see me reach my hand, making reference to back. I don't look back because ain't nothing back there but hurt. And it's all calling my name. Hey, Mo Prather-El, come on back here, man. Got something for you. Yeah, it's going to stay back there. This is what we got to know. You can go to the next one, Sheik. And Mo, we're going to put your comments in. And next time the Sheik call me out, I'm going to answer all your questions. I'm not going to argue and fight with you. I'm simply going to answer. And I'm simply going to respect your opinion, your comment. We can dialogue. We can converse. We can do all of these things, because I don't have any problem with any of it. Election. So you know that when the Grand Sheik gives ill asked about election, yeah, but we do elect. And this was Anderson, the most took it to history in 1928 of this man Anderson. And the prophet gave him his backing. And see what party he was in. It's in one of the papers. Matter of fact, it's in this paper. You know, see who he backed in that election and whether or not it was Democrat or Republican. He went to a Democratic president when he first got here, Woodrow Wilson, but it wasn't Woodrow. He walked through there and put down his lessons, just like Moses did with Pharaoh, and he came out and did his job, set the people free, did what he had to do, and then he left. And that's what we have to do. We elect. You can go to the next one, Sheik.
Okay, here's the next one.
And Moses, I also want to say, Moses, I'm not Masonic.
That's right.
I have no Masonic affiliation.
Right.
I have no Masonic degrees,
right.
But I do have all the degrees that you, as being a Moor, carried into those halls of learning. Everything that you carried in, aside from what Timothy Dingley didn't bring out, I went back and got it. I'm not Mason.
That's right.
I just went back and got our degrees that you, Moors, are carrying into those houses, into those halls of learning. And that's what's making them so prominent, so big, so powerful, a greater institution amongst our people, because you are carrying the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's lessons into those halls of learning. And when I come in there, you try to work me over, and it don't work, because I'm not from the elite. I'm from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's house. I sat under his tutelage, sat under his teaching, under his lesson. I have no affiliation, want no affiliation. And I love you all, and I ain't gonna argue fight with none of you, but I am gonna let you know if I can, under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, that you're wrong.
So we got a question, Sheik Prather-El.
Question.
So brother Terrence the Great said, was Anderson's election or electing done by block voting within the temples? So
Okay, I'm not sure what that block. I honestly am not sure what that block voting is, but if someone does, they can enlighten me on what the block voting was. And the lesson is that Anderson was a member of the temple. He did support the prophet, as did Jesse Binger, as did a few others. that came out, you know, and in support of the prophet. And the prophet said, "I'll give you my support." Same thing that Marcus Garvey did with Drew Ali, and Drew Ali did with Marcus Garvey. When Marcus Garvey left, his membership gave him, Marcus Garvey's people gave him, Drew Ali, their support. So, but Mo, I'll read up more on that, and you can read up more, and then we can answer that question. Because I'm definitely going to find out what this block vote is. Because honestly, I'm not familiar with it at all.
So can I speak to a Sheik right there?
Yes, please enlighten me, please.
So to answer the brother's question, the answer is yes, because when you look at two of the prominent candidates at that time, you had Oscar Stanton, the priest, and you also had Louis B. Anderson. And what they did was, what the prophet did, he used those multiple candidates simultaneously to get elected by generating enough support or drumming up enough support amongst the Moorish Americans and other Asiatics within that community in Chicago at that time. So yes, he did use block voting to get Anderson elected, and he also used block voting to get Oscar Stanton, the priest, elected as well. Brother Terrence the Great.
Okay. Thank you for that, Sheik. Yes, thank you. On the prophet on his birthday. Okay, you can go to another one more.
All right. All right. So this is the last one of the Moorish guys, and then we have a few pictures of the prophet, and then we have Grand Sheik Timothy Dingley as well.
Praise Allah.
Islam.
Wow, look at that, Mo. So you see, he had problems. So you can see that. What's the date on that, Sheik? What's the date on
September
that?
14, 1928, September.
September 14th. So they were already conspiring against the man. Already. September. He's got a big old convention. He's traveling throughout the South. He went on a second tour of trying to get people to come to the great meeting, and they're conspiring against him already. So it's not strange that he had the convention in October, and then he passed form in July 1929, and then we end up with July or September convention being held.
The 14th of September is when he was able to, when this was printed. So I'm just looking at the correlation between September and the convention being replaced with September when I see that sheet.
Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Go ahead, Mo. Okay. Thank you.
Islam.
Praise Allah. Okay. You go to the next one, Mo.
Yes, sir.
You say you got Timothy on there, Mo?
Yes, I'll go to that one next.
Yeah, bring my daddy up here, Mo. Loved the man, Mo. Loved him. Loved him. Loved him. Still love him.
Praise Allah.
That's him right there standing, and that's Richardson Dingley sitting down, and both of them giving some powerful degrees. And this is in October 1969. He held a convention out inside of his home.
So I'm zooming in real quick. Sheik Prather-El. So standing, that's Grand Sheik Dingley, right?
So that's, yes, sir.
And this is
Richardson Dingley. That's Richardson Dingley sitting.
Praise Allah.
And those are some of his sheiks in the background.
Islam.
And this is October 1929. I mean 1969.
Islam.
I mean, we want to get back to him more. You know, that was his desire. You know, his all so much more. And every state now are holding convention. Everybody's holding convention, but we're going to get all these temples, man. He said uniting of the Moorish Sense Temple of America. So as the Moorish Sense Temple of America is united, we all are going to get back to the capital, for which is Chicago, Illinois.
That's right.
You know, for which is founded by Asiatic. And why was it founded by Asiatic? Why is it Chicago? Why did he leave North Carolina, New Jersey, and end up in Chicago? These are the things that those pictures you say we got coming up next. We look into the depths of them. You're gonna see the reason why that all of these changes took place, and the reason why we need to be in Chicago, Illinois.
Islam. Here we go.
That was Grand Sheik Timothy Dingley, the author of the book, The Resurrection, Moorish Sense Temple of America. Sheik, would you by any chance have that book in front of you?
I don't have it in front of me, but I do have a picture of it. Let me see.
Okay, can you show family, friends, and loved ones the picture of the Resurrection, Moorish Sense Temple of America, the book, the cover? Get him an image of Timothy Dingley and give him an idea of what he looked like, what he stood for, and how he stood. and where he stood in defense of his gospel.
Yes, sir.
Defending our women, defending the Moorish Sense Temple of America, defending, not fighting, defending the Moorish Sense Temple of America and all its property, especially that flag. And Sheik, Joni, I want to thank you, man, before I forget. I want to thank you for serving the Moorish flag when you were running for office.
Thank you. Okay, I have it right here. Resurrection book. And thank you, Sheik Prather-El. It was my first time, but it's not my last time.
You were out there campaigning in your feds and your God, man, and showing the world that you there for the prophet. Mo, you were serving your flag, Mo. We say honor the flag all the time, protect the flag, but you first got to serve it, Mo. You got to serve that flag. And that flag says, the way you serve me is to serve love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when you serve love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, you're serving Allah. When you serve Allah, you serve your near kin, those who are the kin, stranger at your gate, the foe that seeks to do you harm. I want to thank you, Mo.
Thank you.
This right here is Timothy Dingalil. This book was published in October 1978. Defend her, she will defend herself. New era of time. This rock of salvation. If I draw you a cut, the truth, be yourself and not somebody else. The Resurrection Moorish Sense Temple of America Incorporated. And there were many powerful people that wanted to take this book off the market, Mo. They wanted to pay him to not publish this book. But he published it and then left because of what would have taken place, in my estimation, had he stayed. And this man taught for us not to let his foes be our foes. His enemies should not be our enemies. He didn't put the blood on my head to fight people. Matter of fact, he took the sword out of my hand. He took black clothes, colored clothes off of me and put me in a white shirt. He put this red fez under me, and he shaved my head. I had to get a haircut before I adorned my head with this fez, because he was saying that I was still connected to that outside world with the bush. I had a nice bush, but I cut it off to put this fez on. The brothers that had dreads, they cut them dreads off.
Yeah, we talked about
because
that.
It looked better.
We talked about that.
It couldn't fit underneath the fez. And the fez was becoming so disfigured, so out of shape, with all of us trying to serve two natures, two cultures, with all that dreadlock. And I'm not down on you more. I'm just telling you what the record reflects. And one day I'll pull the record out and read it to you almost word for word. Marcus Garvey started the crop cutting our brothers' hair when they coming in there, hair thick as wool. He started the crop cutting it so they could fit underneath the uniform, underneath the cap. And Timothy Dingalil did the same. Took my bush, I came up this, and I'm not putting no fez on that black power stuff. I said, wow. Okay, Mo, I went and got it cut off, came back up, he put a fez on my head. And that same fez, I have the same fez that he gave me. It's turned color now, but I do have it. And I have it preserved in my home right now. So, Mo, we want to look civilized. We don't want to display 3 and 4, 5 cultures by having all this wool, having the fez, disfiguring the fez by squeezing it over all the hair we may have. Timothy Dingley, this is my hair. Look at my hair. Can you see my hair?
Yes, sir.
Can you see that, Mo?
Right, yeah.
Sheik, you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh, what happened?
Can you hear me?
Sheik, don't hear. Uh-oh, what'd I do?
Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, just type 1 in the chat if you can hear me. If you can hear me, type 1 in the chat. Praise Allah. So you can't hear me. Thank you, Sheik Johnson. Give me 1 second, everyone. Give me 1 second. Oh, praise a lot. I'm gonna call. She prayed that right back. Thank you. I think you might have a mute button. Give me 1 second. Peace, my brother. Peace. I think she prayed that may have he may have pressed the mute button, but we're still on. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Everybody said they could hear him on that end, so he can just log back in whenever he's ready. Yes, sir. Just bear with us 1 minute, everyone. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for responding back in the ones. And it's good to hear from you, Sheikah Denise Howard Bay. It's long. Good to see you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It is beautiful to hear from you. In East 49, thank you as well. Brother Terrence, thank you as well. All right. Just wait for him to come back on. So we're waiting in the chat. If you have any questions, you can post your questions, any statements as well. Brother Terrence the Great, I saw your statement. You said that's almost like the picture from the Quran questions. And that's a great observation, Brother Terrence. The Great Book of the Resurrection was never created to upsert or to replace the Quran questions, but it was to help us to gain a better understanding and a deeper appreciation for our Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, as well as our Quran questions. So if you ever get a copy, or if you like a copy of the Resurrection book, we can definitely get you a copy. And what you'll find in there, you'll find that our 101 questions are actually in there as well. You'll find that it's in there. So it never was meant to take the place of the works of the prophet of Noble Dryly, but to assist us in gaining a better understanding of what this organization is all about, which is the Moorish Science Temple of America. She prayed there, y'all. You okay?
I just got how to get back in it, man. I tell you what, shit, can you? Man, I got a long time to get back in shit.
Okay. Are you on your email account?
Push my email?
Yes, sir. So you're going to go to the email, your AOL account.
Okay, here I am.
And then from there, you should see my email address. It's going to be BrendanJoyner@gmail.com. No problem. This is Long Grand Sheik Clarence. Peace and love to you too. All as well. You wanna table this segment and we come back to the next one?
Yes, sir. We can do that. So I'm gonna frustrate nobody, and we can pick it back up. Just ask more to.
You want to say any words? You on speaker right now, GS? So you want to say anything?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you all hear him? Let me know if everybody can hear him by typing one in the chat. If you can hear, can you hear Grand Sheik Prather-El in the chat? If you can, just type one for me. If you can hear me, can you type one? Just press dial one in the chat. Okay. My wife said one. Sheik Johnson, they said one. Yeah, so they can hear you.
Praise Almighty God, we're going to take that question up about the resurrection book and all that says, all your questions, please ask them. I have no problem with answering. We're going to take the issue up. We can dialogue, or we can talk, or we can, ask those questions pertaining to the resurrection book of the Moorish Sense Channel of America, authored by Grand Sheik Timothy Dingaleo. And we'll take that up in our next session. And please ask your questions, make your comments, and because I have no problem, I'm not going to fight with you in answering them. So let's do it. Let's do it. And bring your brothers and sisters, friends, bring them in to hear the word of the prophet over Israel as I spoke about myself. So I'm not the only authority on this lesson, but I just love it. That's all. So she can tell you set up again, man. Until we'll wait there. I'll wait patiently there.
Yes, sir. We'll set it up as soon as possible. And Sheik is Howard Bay. So Grand Sheik Prather-El stated that we're gonna have a second segment. We're gonna have a second segment in the weeks to come. Actually, in the days to come, we're gonna have a second segment to pick up where we left off, pertaining to the Great Book of the Resurrection. And anybody or all who have questions, ask your questions. But we're not going to argue. We don't debate. We communicate. Ultimately on this channel, but ask your questions. Ask your questions. We're going to have a healthy dialogue. Islam. All right. So, Sheik Howard Bay. We wanted. That's right. Grand Sheik Prather-El and Grand Sheik Prather-El say, they love you and they need a hug. So they want to see you. So we need hugs. That's right. We need a hug. Islam. She said, Islam. Mother Betty, did you want to say anything?
Just a great show. I just want to thank you, Sheik, joining for your platform, for you allowing this opportunity for Sheik Prather-El and many others that you have brought on. So continue the good work. May Allah continue to bless you and all your endeavors that you are doing in the Prophet's name. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Islam.
All right, Sheik, go ahead and set it up, and let's do it, man.
Yes, sir.
Just let me know when, and let's do it.
All right. Peace and love. I'm here.
30 to 22, Bel-Air Road is Saturday, 7 o'clock.
Praise Allah. So 30, you see 31, 22?
32, 22.
30,
Bel-Air Road.
32, 22, Bel-Air Road. So I'll make that announcement right now. Temple number 13-1 under the leadership of Supreme Grand Sheik John Lomax Bey. They will be celebrating their ancient Forefathers Day celebration and observance. Please come on out. It's going to be educational and informative as well, teaching many great lessons pertaining to the ancient Forefathers Day celebration. This has been a month-long celebration here in Baltimore. If you missed the opportunity to come out to the last two celebrations for this month-long event, please come out this Saturday. And can you give us the time again, Sheik Prather-El?
7 o'clock, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. 3222 Bel-Air Road, East Baltimore. Islam? Islam. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Islam. So again, we want to thank you for tuning into the Moorish Sense Channel. Again, we're going to have a part 2 to this segment in the days to come. So please be on the lookout for that. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns whatsoever pertaining to this topic or any of the topics under the Moorish Sense umbrella, please feel free to comment on the channel. And you can also send your questions if you don't feel comfortable posting a public question. Please feel free to email us at moorishsensemedia@gmail.com. And myself or Sheik Melvin Valaz Bey will get back to you as soon as possible. We'd like to welcome you out to the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple number 13, that's located at 1055 North Milton Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland 21206. That's here in East Baltimore. Hours are from 8 to 10 on Fridays, the holy day of all Muslims all over the world, and from 12 to 2 on Sundays. I'm a Sunday school instructor. So please come on out, as it was stated before, by Sheik Prather-El, who is my senior and also my spiritual father. Ask your questions. Come on out and ask your questions. We love for individuals to ask questions. This is one of the few places that's open forum where you can ask your questions and you're going to get an answer. And if I don't know something, by all means, I'm going to say I don't know. I'm not going to make up or conjure up anything. Likewise, our sister temple is Temple 13-2, and that's located at 2900 Pressman Street, Baltimore, Maryland 21216, and that's under the leadership of Grand Sheik Eric Thompson Bey. Islam, you want to come on out the same time. It's Friday, 8 to 10, and Sundays from 12 to 2. Again, bring your questions during Sunday school. Come out Friday. It's the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. And come give praise to the great God, Allah. With that being said, I'm going to end off this program with Moorish American prayer. And from there, you're going to see us on Thursday because Sheik Valance and I will be back on Thursday with the second segment pertaining to what is in the name. So you'll see us on Thursday as well. Islam, Islam, Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, True Ali. Amen. Islam family, peace and love.